in the future, there is only war. But we're not going to start with the future, we're going to start with the past. And why I decided to pick up Warhammer 40,000 again after not playing or collecting models in 16 years. So this was the last codex I remember. I remember having it. This isn't mine, I borrowed a lot of this stuff because at the moment I have the Recruit Edition box set, and that's all I've got. And a couple of little extras from donations from people. So the reason I'm doing videos and doing a channel is because I would like not only feedback, but there's not many channels that show a interesting take on past to present. Mostly it's about 8th edition to 9th edition, but there's not many channels that were 3rd edition and then the next time you play is 9th edition. So I thought this would be interesting and also an easy way of getting feedback, what I should be collecting, what I shouldn't be collecting, what's good, what's not good, and a quick little review of the Recruit Edition starter box set. Everyone's got one on their channel, everybody, you know what's in it. So I thought I'd just compare it to what the last Marine I remember, and talk about it that way instead of just reviewing the box set and doing a dry review like there's so many out there at the moment. So these were the guys that I used to play with. These I had the Whirlwind, I loved that. And these were the models, the old Nefson model. And of course, I was Dark Angels, first chapter, first founding. And I knew about the Horus Heresy back then, but I was more interested in playing the game than I was collecting the models and the lore and everything like that. So it's only recently when I've started reading a lot of the new book, the new Codex book, and then going back and reading old lore, and I'm even thinking about buying the Horus Heresy big books, because book 9 just came out and it has a lot of Dark Angel stuff in it, which is, that's the chapter I started with, that's the chapter I love. I love the mystery and the fallen and the lost, and it's really cool. So this is what I used to use, and this was very similar to the book I used to have. There was very little in it compared to the new book. As you can see, there's very little options, Devastators, Whirlwind, Annihilators, Destructors. And that was it. That was your Space Marines. That's all the main rulebook had in it back then. And I thoroughly loved it. The artwork was great, the community was really good, and the community back then was really good, and it's still really good. I've made a couple of friends locally that are helping me out, supplying me with terrain PCs, models, just so I can show you different things that I'm thinking of and get your opinion, of course, because the comment section shouldn't just be people shouting and swearing at each other and flaming each other and all that. We should be helping each other out, especially like being a bit selfish for myself, because again, last time I played it was 3rd. We're now, and this is where we are now. This is the 9th edition core rulebook, which again is really cool. There's lots of lore, there's lots of great artwork and images and story, telling you about everything, and it looks just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I've really enjoyed reading this. I have, and there's a lot of stuff that I've been lucky enough that there's local people that I can ask to questions and what I don't understand. Like, I'm a bit sad that we've lost blast templates from this edition to our newest one. We've now got a blast rule. I've been told the blast rule is really good and it's really balanced to what it could be balanced to. Will it change? Will it do all this sort of stuff? We've not got the Space Marine Codex dropped yet. I'm hoping it's soon because I'm dying to see it. But yeah, that's one thing I miss is blast templates. I really loved them. It stopped grouping up. It stopped what YouTubers call castles, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so that was the first thing I bought. Before anything else, I bought the core rulebook. And I love it, absolutely love it. I think it's a really good book. So the next thing I bought was the Start Collecting, Recruit Edition Start Collecting box. Necrons and Space Marines. And this is one of the little guys here. have to excuse the paint on my hands. You can guess what I'm doing. So this guy here looks so cool, absolutely so cool. Like the model is great, the detailing is great. It was really easy to put together, and it's not glued together yet because I want to take it off and paint it and then put it all back together. But just to show you a comparison, this is what I used to play with, and a little bit more advanced than this, but it's the only one I have currently. Let me get these in focus. This is the one I only have at the moment, and he said I've had to strip off the old paint off him, that's why he looks a bit worn and grumpy. But this is what I used to play with, and you can see the huge amount of difference in detail and compared to that was just a normal Marine, and this is out the box. You can pick this box up for anything between £26 and £35, and for that money you're getting a really good sculpted kit. So that's the first thing about this box that I'm liking, I'm enjoying. It's got a good sculpt to it. They're not being lazy, and they're quite highly detailed. I got the easy push together reavers. Yeah, here I've done started one of the bases already. Bring it into focus. Again, it's not a bad sculpt. I really wish that the shoulder pads were separate, but yeah, it's alright. It's not bad. It's not a bad little sculpt. It's a shame that reavers are. The rules for them looked interesting when I heard about them, and then I went and actually found out they're not that great. The other thing I really like, moving away from the box set for a second, is the heroes models. These are season 2 hero models, and I found my chapter master in the first box, and just the pose, the way he looks like he's just sprinting towards the enemy, and the way I'm going to run him with a Dark Angel's relic, set lightning claws, and one of the Dark Angel's warlords traits as well. He's going to be a beast, I'm hoping. And I know everybody's like, oh, you need a captain and a lieutenant standard, just get them two, they get your rerolls and all that sort of stuff. But to be totally honest, just look at him up there. How cool does he look? Like sprinting towards the enemy, you know? Because like, I'm not going to be a competitive player. Never have been, never will be. I like lore and story, and I've already started thinking, I know it's sad, but started thinking and writing a lot of the backstory of the successor chapter from the Dark Angels, which these guys are going to be part of. It could be interesting. It could be interesting. Also, I've got a narrative story idea that I'm going to run with a gentleman that's really helped me out in the hobby. He's really helped me with lots of questions and answers and showing me stuff and painting techniques and just giving me a refresher on the basics. And we're going to run a narrative campaign, and it would be really interesting because I like this crusade system. I know everybody's slating it and says, oh, it's a terrible system. I quite like it for the idea behind it, and I like that your characters will level up or go down depending on if they live, die, get injured. I think that's a great idea. It's pretty cool, so we'll see how that goes. So we've got the box, and in the box we get a load of bases. See them before, they're just bases. A Necron character. There he is there. And then more importantly, the Space Marine sprue for assault. Intercessors. Again, nice models, nice sculpts, pretty clean. Nothing to wow you about, but again, it's nice, good, clean quality. So yeah, it's pretty good. You got your Necron sprue as well. Again, good, clean quality. They look interesting. I'm gonna try and trade it with someone, because I'm not going to use the Necrons. I have no interest in using the Necrons. But yeah, I'm going to try and swap it with someone. So if anybody has 2 sets of 3 scout bikes that they don't want anymore, I'm happy to swap you them, because I want to try scout bikes. I know I'm a heretic for saying that, but I really do like it. And these are really cool as well. So these are just measuring sticks, standard measuring sticks. You get them in a lot of board games. I see just 2 bits of plastic like that. It's so much easier than a tape measure. Now, I know it says on the box, in the old boxes, it's like, oh, you must use a tape measure to make sure you're accurate. See if you could just lie that down and go, well, that's 12, that's 24. It's so much easier, and I really like that they've just added, like, it's not cost them anything for 2 bits of plastic like that. And that's where I got the box from. It's Mighty Lance Gaming's. They were really nice, they got it out really quick to me, and there was a discount code for my first purchase direct, so I went through Amazon. The other thing that was in the box, which I'm really happy about, was data sheets for the units. Because they're not in the rulebook, the main core rulebook, which again, that's a huge difference from 3rd to 5th, is the rulebook. It doesn't have the points costs, and it doesn't have the data sheets. So at least in the box, good, quite thick quality card. You've got the data sheets that kind of tell you about the guys and what they do. Volkite is back. I know it's given it a fancy name, but it's a Volkite pistol. That'll be interesting. And you get a playing mat. I've not opened it. I don't plan to open it. A 2-sided playing mat. And then you get this, which is your recruit manual, which, fair enough, it's got a lot of the stuff that's in the rulebook, carbon copied straight out the rulebook, which is fair enough. But when you get to how to build the models, pretty cool. Pretty cool. You get your missions, but what I'm looking for is after here. Let's see if I can find it again, because I didn't mark this page like a silly little person. There we go. So like it's got, this is an example. There you go, tells you about morale. Very simple layout, very easy to read, and step-by-step guide, very easy and simple and straightforward. There's not a very difficult way of understanding that, which is good. Quite like that about it. And so yeah, all in all, for the small amount of 20 odd to 30 odd pound, this is a great little box. This is a really good little box, and it really does help. The only thing that's missing from it is a pair of snips, which I had to borrow a pair of snips. Mine are still on order. And a bit of sandpaper. I've got one of these, now this is very old, but all it is a little kind of holder for the sandpaper. And you can just hold it in your hand and then just rub it like that. Quite hard grain, that one, but you get the idea. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this. I'm quite happy with the box set, what's in it. One of the friends that I've made through the community, he's got the big, huge £130 box set, and he's got so happy with it. He's bought an extra 2 boxes to get the full amount of everything from bikes to the new characters. We have on order at the moment, we have another sprue of assault intercessors. We have a chaplain coming. We have old school sniper scouts coming. And we have, I can't remember the name of them. Intercessors? This is what happens when you make every unit sound the exact same. Intercessors, aggressors. I can't remember what they're called. Hellblasters is another one that I want to get, but they're not on order yet because we've got plenty on the painting table right now to paint and get started with, and make sure we have something to do for quite a while. And then if we do get bored, we do have the Necrons from this box. We could always paint up if we don't find a swap. But that's my impression of the box. I'm quite pleasantly surprised. It's for 20 odd £30, it's a good little box. It's a good little box. Would I buy the big box? Probably not, because I've already started laying out what my army at 1750 will look like, and what my army at 2000 points would look like, and it doesn't really look that way. So the units would be nice to have for having the models, but I don't think other than that I'd really use them for anything. So we have my first guy that I ever got back in the old days of black and white. Then we've got first generation Marine, just to show you a size comparison, and then we've got the gentleman, the leader, the lieutenant out of the box, and then we've got our chapter master. We'll put him there as well, just to show. There we go. Just to show the height difference in the scaling. So I'm used to playing with guys this size, and now we've got these lovely models that are very well sculpted at this size. So in the comment section, if you want to drop ideas, what you think of the boxes, what you like, what you don't like, if there's anything that is a auto must include in an army list, let me know. I'm thinking Hellblasters, especially going Dark Angels or Dark Angel successor chapter. I'm going to say probably a great thing would be to get Hellblasters, and as a stratagem for Weapons of the Dark Age, I think it's called. I think that'll be really good. Let me know. Thanks for watching.